Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, and I'm here at Cisco Live 2025. I'm inside the World of Solutions. I'm at the FabrixAI stand. I'm with Shailesh Mandrekar, the CMO of FabrixAI, and I'm with Raju Datla, the CEO and co-founder, or founder, right? Yeah. And all right, welcome to ZKast, guys. Great to have you. Before we get into the content and talk about how you work with Cisco, just a quick intro on yourselves. So, Raju, why don't we start with you?
I'm Raju Datla. I'm co-founder and CEO for Cloud Fabrix. We started this company about 10 years ago.
Yeah, Shailesh Mandrekar. I'm the CMO. Been with the company about 3.5 years. Before that, several startups and big companies.
Yeah. Now, prior to last year, you were known as Cloud Fabrix, and you rebranded to FabrixAI. And I know you've been working with Cisco for a while, but I'm curious as to what drove the name change here.
Sure. So Cloud Fabrix was built to connect different clouds, different applications in across hybrid clouds, multiple clouds. But over the time, we built that platform to ingest the data, process the insights and the AI ops. Then we evolved that into do automation and AI, agentic AI. Because of its broader depth, we shortened the name to make it Fabrix.ai.
Okay. And you actually have worked with Cisco through many startups. So you've got a long history with working with Cisco. So can you talk about that and talk about your journey as to where you came from and how you got here?
Sure, absolutely. I started working for Cisco since '96. I worked as an engineer in many groups. A few years later, we left Cisco, I and some of my other colleagues. We started a company called Jahi Networks that was acquired by Cisco about 15 months later. And we worked on the networking group, building access points and a lot of those. Again, a few years later, we started Clopia, which was data center automation. Cisco acquired, that became a huge company.
I remember Clopia, yeah.
Yes.
And now, one of the big themes here at the show is AI Ops. And although it's not really a new technology, in fact, FabrixAI and Cloud Fabrix before that has been doing AI Ops for a while. So where are we in the journey? Do you believe the AI moment has arrived for AI Ops?
Answer is yes. I think the AI movement has arrived for AI Ops. AI Ops until now has been about understanding the topology and the context and trying to correlate with rules or machine learning. Right? Now, once you correlate, we were doing the root cause analysis, inferring what could be. But with the AI and tool calling capabilities and reasoning capabilities, today we are able to really use the AI to simplify this AI ops deployments, rapidly increase how fast we can achieve the full AI ops potential.
And what are you seeing as some of the low-hanging fruit use cases? Because when you watch some of the demos of AI ops, it's everything from just troubleshooting to fully autonomous networks and everything in between. And what are customers doing today? So what interests them the most?
Most common use case is the root cause analysis, right? And performing
trying to figure out why things happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And perform certain standard operating procedures. When this happens, perform these checks. Is this okay, not okay? So whatever the people who are manually verifying things, now the AI can automatically do it and give a real recommendation that's more actionable at the moment.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your relationship with Cisco. So you're here inside the World of Solutions. This is filled with companies that work with Cisco. So how do you work with Cisco?
Yeah, we have been working with Cisco for a long time, as a partner. It has been a great partnership with Cisco, and we have sold into large telco companies through Cisco, and they have been very successful deployment and in the growing deployments, both for Cisco and us.
Yeah, and so you work seamlessly with them. Yeah. Now, Cisco took actually, last year, in fact, G2 sort of joked on the stage, the biggest acquisition in history was Splunk. Actually, I want to ask you that, Shailesh. And Cisco's also become seemingly tied at the hip with NVIDIA, right? They both work very well together. And so how does FabrixAI work with Splunk and NVIDIA?
Yeah, so again, as Raju said, right, so we've been a long-time Cisco partner, right, and we're working with Cisco in general across different swim lanes, right, so we're working with obviously the Splunk team, we're working with the AI pod team, we're working with agency, right, all in the context of AI. So particularly with Splunk, what we are able to do is, so we were one of the prominent partners when Cisco was trying to build their own observability platform. So we had a lot of data source integrations, right, across not just the Cisco portfolio, but across the board, right, pertaining to networking in particular. We have brought in all of those data source integrations now onto Splunk. So we bring in all of that data enriched with a lot of topology information. So the integration we have with this Splunk data platform as well as Splunk ITSI, right? So that's Splunk. Obviously, everybody wants to dance with NVIDIA. Yeah. So we've been lucky enough to be the NVIDIA Inception partner. Okay. So yeah, we are an NVIDIA Inception partner. So work closely with them, and that makes it a lot more easy to work with the Cisco AI part team, right? Because it's the same infrastructure, and what customers are asking us is, hey, I don't know what GPUs to use, what names to use. I really want an appliance which I can plug in and plug out. And that's where the AI part comes in, and the NVIDIA Inception program, we already work with that stack today. So it makes it a lot more seamless.
And are you seeing a lot of overlap between the Inception program and the Cisco customers?
Well, there is now a good amount of, you probably watched today Jyoti's keynote, right? So it's all about AI and AI-enabled infrastructure. So yes, increasingly more we are going to see this happen, right? That a lot of these customers, networking customers, are trying to build their own AI stack, right? So yeah, we're hopeful of that.
Okay. And Raju, there's a lot of, in fact, if I walk around the show floor, I'm going to see a lot of companies talking about agentic AI. And so how do you feel your agentic platforms differs from many of the other companies we're going to see?
Absolutely. The main difference that we bring in about the data, we have huge amount of data in large telcos that spans across multiple domains, and we have the ability to ingest the data and process the data. Without having a good data, agentic AI, it becomes, a experiment. So we have the huge amount of data, operational data in production environments. Now our agentic AI differs because we have good data. Not only that, we built the complete agentic AI framework, some open source, some in-house, very lightweight solution. We can bring the agents to life within minutes or hour at the most. Complete, once you have our platform, you can bring the agents to life. You don't need 10 other things. Only thing we ask is GPUs or access to LLM. That's all we ask. Everything else we have.
And really the quality of agentic AI is based on data, right? Better data, better insights. Yeah. And silos of data leads to fragmented insight. So, and you've got a pretty impressive booth here. What are you showing here? What are customers seeing here?
Yep, we're showing our data ingestion capabilities, automation, as well as full agentic AI capabilities. How to build the agents, how to put the guardrails against the agents, right? So that they don't do something you don't want to. How do you test it? How do you measure the performance of the agents? How do you go deploy, make them live? So all this, doing a simple agent in 5 minutes to full lifecycle management and evaluating the performance of the agents, full test suite, everything we offer that entire capabilities through our platform.
Yeah, and can you drill down a little bit in the guardrails? I'm curious about that. How are you making sure that the agents are doing things they should do and not doing things they shouldn't do?
Correct, absolutely. So, you can give a set of instructions or prompt templates to certain tasks, but user can always override, don't follow that one, go do this, right? Let's say, you don't want the user to do anything changes. You just want to run the diagnostics and open a human in the loop so that somebody can actually make the change, approve the change. But if you don't put the guardrails, user can go make the change. That's two ways we protect it. One, we create something called AI persona. When user is asking or agent is doing some task, we allow the tools only that are required to do the job. First, number one, protection. Number two, we put the guardrails. We use a different LLM to make sure that agent or the user is conforming to the policies of the company or their best interest, not to, for example, send any sensitive information via somebody else, right? So all these checks are, they don't do anything with profanity, that kind of basic checks that LLMs provide, but also company policies. We should never send a SSN in this way. They can define these policies. We ensure using LLM that first they are not violating anything in the input or output, so that we catch them before something bad happens.
And you're also running demos in the Cisco validated zone, correct? What are you showing in there?
We are showing how we can ingest vast amount of network data into Splunk and automate the entire implementation of ITSI, IT Service Intelligence. So we are bringing ITSI into life, and we are bringing Cisco network and Splunk together. So far, networking customers have not been a big adopters of Splunk. On the security, yes, but purely on the network infrastructure side, that not much overlap. So we are bringing the network users to the Splunk ITSI and Splunk users together. Our solution is what we're demonstrating there.
Well, it's certainly timely given the amount of integration Cisco. In fact, while on stage today, the Jitu Patel, their Chief Product Officer, showed all the work we're doing with Splunk, but then I think more importantly showed all the future work we're doing with them. So those two products are coming together, and you can solve a lot of things, the operational
Because
issues.
we have the data source integrations, right? It shrinks your time to value, right? So because you are able to get now integration with all of this broad portfolio, right?
And so, one of the interesting things is you're obviously built on some of the leading LLMs, but they keep changing. And so talk about the challenges of working with LLMs and how you handle that.
Right. So for the agentic AI these days, you need at least two capabilities. One is that reasoning and tool calling, right? So there are a lot of LLMs out there. The main challenge we see is the hallucinations, basically, right? One time it works, one time it goes off that one. So
You have no idea why that is.
and we are beginning to figure out, it's all in the prompt engineering, of course, are the instructions, but we figured out that instructions are the key when you're trying or giving the instructions, because little bit off, if you give a little bit of leeway, it takes the leeway. If you ask it to do 10 things, if it interprets that 6 to 10 steps are optional, it skips them. That tends to do that. So it is very important to do the right thing. So that is a challenge with LLMs. How do you get the instructions so that it always follows the instructions very strict manner? We are beginning to figure out, but that's a challenge right now.
Okay. And one of the other points in the keynote this morning was the opportunity ahead for service providers when it comes to AI. In fact, I think the telcos that I've talked to, you understand they miss cloud. They're not going to miss AI. And so how do you work? Well, first of all, what kind of traction do you have with the telcos, and how are you helping them?
Absolutely. So our biggest customers are telcos globally, right? In US, India, Europe, everywhere, our largest customers are telcos. One of the reasons telcos are our customers because we have the ability to look at multiple domains, right? And telcos tend to look at data center, campus, packet core, wireline, everything that you look at it, they use it. They need the tools that can look at all of this one, not a siloed way they have been doing it. That's number one. We are bringing agentic AI to them so that they can address very complex scenarios. A simple scenario, most of the telcos are service MSPs or service providers. When a customer makes a complaint or opens a ticket, how they need to look at the data, what they need to look at. We are offering the agents, allow them to build the agents, look at the call, look at the ticket, analyze, do a lot of things automatically within few seconds, enrich the ticket so that human already has a lot of information about, is everything okay in the customer side, is everything okay in between, is everything okay in my data center, in our applications. So it does a lot of analysis and decisions and recommendations before somebody actually, engineer need to look at it.
All right. And this the last question. So what's next for you guys? What's coming?
Our next is the agents, basically, right? Bring the power of agents to
World of agents.
And in a responsible way to our customers. And we are very excited about it. And we are able to do a lot with the AI, and a lot of people are. I think the AI operations and IT side, they can do a lot more, lot better.
Are your customers excited about the agents, or do they see it as a threat?
I think both, a little bit of both, and absolutely right. So we are also threatened by the AI as a programmers and developers. We can see how AI can do. It's not quite there to replace a human, but it is getting there. So it's a matter of everyone has to adopt agents, make them work for you.
Yeah, and the way I've looked at it, and G2 said this on stage, right? It's AI is not going to take your job, but it's the engineer that uses AI that's going to take your job, right? And so it'd be like if you had an accountant today that didn't use Excel. Right? It wouldn't make any sense. It's a tool that makes you do your job faster. And I think this concept of it's going to get rid of all jobs is really overblown. So, but I'm really excited to see what you guys are doing on the agent side, because that to me is going to be a game changer in networking.
Yeah, and see, one other thing to keep in mind, right? So there are a lot of players who are doing like AI SREs, right? Yeah. But what's different about us is really a platform for bespoke use cases, right? That means anybody like an IT ops guy, NOC ops guy, SecOps guy, he can generate his own agent to cater to his use case, right? And that's where the power of the platform comes in.
Okay. And so anything else you guys want to add?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. And so on behalf of Raju Datla and Shailesh Manjrekar, I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, hit that subscribe button as well. We'll see you next time on the next episode of ZKast.